sit far enough apart from each other, or we're not within that 6 feet. So we're going to look specifically today at Chapter 2 follow-up on the back, and then if we get done with that, we will take any homework questions that we maybe have. So if you guys want to go ahead and get out the Chapter 2 follow-up, I don't know if either of you have turned it in yet. No and no. So both of you should still have the Chapter 2 follow-up in your binders. It looks like this on the front. It says Chapter 2 follow-up, P to M. Right, that's how we go from progressing to mastery, we said. So it looks like that, or we're going to look at the back. So if either of you guys need another copy, let me know, but we should do these problems on the back here together. I'm actually going to do something sort of weird. I'm going to look through all of the problems and first think about their sign. Because we started talking in class about how we should think about the sign first. A positive times a negative is going to come out to be a negative because there's only one negative. A negative, when added with another negative, makes a bigger negative. So that's going to be negative also, and so will C. But then, in D, a negative plus a positive, we have to analyze which number is bigger to figure out positive or negative. So I'm going to come back to that one actually. E, and I'm just kind of reminding us of our rules here because this is where a lot of people get stuck. E is negative 6 times 8, so a negative times a positive comes out to be a negative because there's only one negative. Right? If I move down by 6 and I do that 8 times, I move down by a whole lot. Same with F, it's going to be negative. But I is a negative times a negative. What's a negative times a negative? A positive. So actually, we'll kind of work backwards here. We already know that a negative times a negative is a positive. So if we do 6 times 6, 36. So think about the sign first, then the actual numbers. Anyone need another copy of this before we keep working on it? If you've already done the follow-up, have you gotten yours back yet? You have not turned it in yet. Did I give you one when I gave you your test back? Oh, sweet. So you have it done. So you can just go ahead and stick it in the bin and I'll grade it later. Unless you want to check it while we go over this. So up to you if you wanted to hang on to it and check it. So now that I've thought about the signs with all these multiplication problems, I'm going to do all of the multiplications first. Because I honestly think multiplication's easier. But I need your guys' help. Make sure that you eat, right? Because you got to eat too. But what is 8 times 3? 8, 16, 24. So we know it's going to be a negative, so put it there with your negative. I'm looking for multiplication, so I'm going to go to E. What is 6 times 8? Guys, when I count on my fingers, I like to count by the bigger number. And I'm not joking, I count on my fingers. So I go 8, 16, 24, and then I double that, right? So 8, 16, 24, I double that, 48. So if you don't know your memorization or you don't have your multiplication facts memorized, count on your fingers. It's fine. No shame. 7 times 3, because I already thought about the sign. 7, 14, 21. Sweet. Now everything else is addition, so I'm going to switch my brain over to addition. Guys, making your brain go back and forth is harder than if I do all of my multiplications and then do my additions. So, focus in on these. Bad guy 12 and a bad guy 3, they team up to make a bigger bad. Negative 15. Right? Or if I went down 12 and went down 3 more, or left 12 and then left 3 more. So if I go left 7 and then 4 more left, what's 4 plus 7? 11. Questions on any that we've done so far? Because it's got to make sense. Because we got another mini mastery tomorrow. Like, we're going to continue to have masteries. You want to be able to get these right next time. So no questions. Who wins with negative 5 versus positive 11? The positive, because it's bigger. And then we ask ourselves, by how much does 11 beat the 5? How much bigger is 11 compared to 5? 6, yeah. Moving down here. 24 and -3, they're going to fight against each other. Right? Who's going to win? 24, but by how much? Yeah, 24 minus 3, we get 21. A bad guy 16 with another bad guy 4. They make a bigger bad. What's 16 and 4 put together? 20. So we get -20. Make sure that you got all of those down and that you have no questions. Did one of you just, are you kidding me? Did something just drop or something?
Yeah.
My
thing didn't come on the straw.
Oh, I was about to say, I got paper towels. I've thought about that much. So if you guys need any paper towels, I got those. I cannot help you on the straw side because I'm not a fan of straws. I'm actually going to cut this video and make a separate video for number 4.